So in 2 hours, I've played 11 games of ranked Super Auto Pets. 11 games, and I've lost 9 of them. Maybe before you watch this, a video on writing better titles. We're going to start the video.
Talking about adaptability and how to cultivate it. So this is incredibly important because a lot of times we think that our success in life is determined by our circumstances. If I'm born rich, then I will be successful. And if I'm born poor, then I won't be successful. But if
so right now, I've been born Elo poor, all right? I've been born Elo poor. And I feel right now that I'm not going to make it out of that hole, you know what I'm saying? I'm not a Nepo baby. My dad ain't going to be like, yo, son, here is 400 Elo. And with that 400 Elo, you got to reinvest, you know what I'm saying? You got to put that back in the stock market. You put like 30 Elo here, you put 40 Elo there. 2 weeks time, bam, 100 Elo back. You know what I'm saying? So I need this. I've been born Elo poor.
If you look at these two groups of people, there are some people who are born rich who end up kind of screwing up in life. And then there are some people who are born poor who end up being very successful. So what's the difference? It turns out that one of the major things that's different between success and failure, irrespective of your circumstances, is the ability to adapt. And it turns out that we are getting worse at adaptation. And many of the things that we're
I want to say I'm really good at adapting when I have to. Like, if I'm comfortable, I'm never going to adapt because I can make do without adapting. But, like, if last minute shit's the fan, I can switch up. But until then, I'm not doing anything. You know what I'm saying?
Doing, which we think are moving us in the right direction, are actually harming us. And at the top of the list is finding the perfect solution. So nowadays, when I work with people, everyone is looking for the perfect solution. So people are looking for the...
Yeah, I want the perfect solution. How do I 6-0 Kyogre? That's what I want to know. How do I 6-0 the best person in the world at the video game that I play?
Right supplement, some magical supplement that will cure their anxiety.
Drugs? I'll do them.
Or even the right kind of meditation to cure their anxiety.
Fuck it, I'll meditate. I don't care if I got ADHD. I'll just meditate.
They're
You're right.
trying to find the perfect partner, despite the fact that we have 400 games in our Steam library. I'm looking.
How many games do I have in my Steam library? Did you just fucking call me out? How many games do I have? 492 games.
For that one perfect game that makes me want to play. And it turns out that the more that we chase perfect solutions, the less adaptable we become. Hey, guys, today we're going to talk about something incredibly important, your personal data. It turns out that...
Oh, whoa. Keep my data at your damn mouth.
Content on the internet, free.
Love you, Dr. K.
So I'll illustrate this with a very quick example, okay? So let's say this is you. And this is what you want to achieve. And so what we go on doing...
So that's me on the left. What I want to achieve, this trophy that I am kind of in right now, is hitting the leaderboard right now, all right? So what is the solution, Dr. K? Tell me.
We're looking for the right kind of solution. So then we turn to places like the internet. And we're like, okay, how do I get from here to here? And someone says, this is the solution that will...
So some motherfucker on the fucking SAP Reddit says, have you tried Ellie Blowfish?
It will help you. And
shut your fucking face.
This is the solution.
And this is Knob, on the other hand. Have you tried playing Pack 2? Have you tried playing a different pack? Shut the fuck up.
That will help you. But if we look at these solutions, they're not perfect to us, right? So we try what this person says, and we find that it doesn't quite fit. So we're like looking at someone else's solution, and then we sort of end up realizing like this doesn't work for me. And so what...
Exactly. Spamming Ellie Blowfish doesn't work for me. Playing Pack 2 is not gonna work for me.
Real adaptation is the opposite of actually looking for the perfect solution.
Don't look for the perfect solution. So what in my head, what is the perfect solution? Dropping my nuts on everybody. Have you tried not taking Rabbit every game? I don't take Rabbit every game. What does that mean? Ah,
Real
tell me, Dr. K.
adaptation
Help
is
me.
changing ourselves to fit the circumstances so that
Okay.
things work out.
But what
And
I
if we
do,
look
Dr.
at
K?
society today, what we tend to find is that society is actually discouraging us from doing this. The way that society exists, it's making us
Okay.
less adaptable and more lazy. So I'll give you like a simple example, right? So if you look at society today and you have a particular
So it's not my fault, is what you're saying. I already knew this, Dr. K. I already knew it's not my fault that I'm bad at the game. It's society's fault. Thank you.
goal, you don't need to change to accomplish that goal. If you want to eat something,
Thank you.
society
I'm
will
perfect,
send
I
you
know.
food to your doorstep. If you want groceries, we'll send you
Yes, it
things to
will.
your doorstep. If you
Speaking of groceries to my doorstep, I do have a grocery delivery coming in about an hour. So bear with me if it comes,
you
all
want
right?
to play a video game, we have so many video games right now that there's at least one video game that will perfectly match
Super Auto Pets, that's exactly what he's talking about, right? He knows we're talking about SAP. And this is my issue. Thank you.
your
Thank you,
interests.
Dr. K.
You like vampires, you like city building, you don't like competitive multiplayer. Hey, here's a vampire city builder single player game.
That's not SAP. That is not Super Auto Pets, Dr. K. But I appreciate you trying.
On the flip side, I like
Dude, could we get Dr. K to play SAP? I know he plays Dota 2. I love Dota as well. I got like 5,000 hours in Dota 2. But do you think we can get Dr. K to play SAP?
FPS, but I don't really care about.
I don't know, probably
I
not.
suck at
He's too big
aiming,
time.
so I want some kind of FPS that gives me auto-targeted.
I think he's saying you have to find another game. Yeah, he wants you to play something easier. No, that's not what he's saying. No, I'm good at SAP, guys.
Single player.
I just gotta keep doing it.
Play this game. The society that we exist in today is
No.
tailoring itself to us so much that we no longer need to adapt. But this creates a huge problem because if you look at life in general, adaptation is what leads to success. We know from the theory of evolution and natural selection that there's a lot of different species out there, and the ones that are able to adapt are the ones that survive. But adaptation doesn't just happen at the species level, it also happens at the individual level. We have these mechanisms of things like
So he's saying I don't need to evolve, I just need to adapt. And I'm feeling like I need to evolve right now. I feel like I'm not on the right plane of existence right now, and I need to step into another evolution. But he's saying I don't need to evolve. I just gotta, make a couple tweaks here and there.
neuroplasticity, which is our brain's ability to adapt to a circumstance and actually change us in the moment. We also have, studies from the field of things like epigenetics, where our body will literally change the methylation state of our DNA and activate particular genes or reduce the activity of particular genes. So adaptation is crucial for success. And this is what I see in the people that I work with. And I want you to just think about this for a second.
I'm thinking, Dr.
So
K.
there are a lot of people in life who face challenges. And for some reason, we got super caught up in this idea of resilience, which is like when you face a setback, are you resilient? But what I've really seen is that people who are successful are the ones that are able to adapt. When they face a particular problem, they are able to change to address that problem. And what really sort of helps people advance.
Okay, so my problem, I want to hit leaderboard, I can't, I'm losing elo. How do I change to address this problem of losing elo rather than gaining it, Dr. K? What do I do? You know what I'm saying? Give me an example.
Advance in life is their ability to adapt. So on the one hand, you have people who don't adapt, right? They're the kind of people who, when faced with a challenge, I try things one way, and then I try it the same way, and then 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 it never ends up working out. And then there are other people who realize when they face an obstacle, they need to change. But that's not what we see nowadays, right? What we see nowadays is a society that tells you you don't need to change at all. If you're looking to date someone, you don't need to improve.
I'm a Sigma male. I don't need to date anybody, okay?
You just keep swiping until you
Unless it's Dr. K and that is my picture on Grindr, then yes, I'm swiping on you, Dr. K.
find the perfect person. That's literally what's going on, right? So you don't need to change your preferences for entertainment. You don't need to learn how to watch an enjoyable show.
Okay.
You need to keep looking through the millions of shows that are available at your disposal until you find the one that's perfect for you.
Dude, he's telling me to play a different game again. Am I not cut out for Super Auto Pets? the fucking animal emoji turn-based auto battler, is it really too difficult for me?
Think about how absurd it is. The concept of
It is absurd, isn't it? That's too difficult for me. That is absurd.
changing yourself to enjoy watching a piece of television or some kind of TV show is so foreign. Except that is exactly what living organisms need to do to be successful. So today we're going to teach y'all how to increase your adaptability.
Teach me. I truly believe that if I'm more adaptable, I will be able to perform better at Super Auto Pets. Bang.
The first thing that we're going to do
Number one
is talk about black and white thinking. So if you look at...
But this is a flowchart game.
Clinical stuff, right? So you look at people who are depressed, people who have PTSD. If you look at clinical illnesses, what we...
Okay, so we're looking at clinical illnesses for Super Auto Pets. Yes, I do have a clinical illness.
The more black and white thinking you have, the less adaptable you are. And we know that the clinical interventions that we have, things like cognitive behavioral therapy or mentalization-based therapy, the goal of these therapies in some way is to reduce black and white thinking. So there's this disease called borderline personality disorder, which sort of is very, very challenging for a lot of people. And we know that one of the features of borderline personality disorder is black and white thinking. And literally in the process of therapy, what we try to do is reduce this thinking. So
Okay. I feel like I'm starting to get it. If I'm in a game and my opponent has high rolled, this isn't a situation of win or lose. And I just accepted that I'm losing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that black and white that this is just a loss because they've high rolled, all right? It's a, how can I look at this slightly differently to make it not be a loss? What can I do? What's in my control?
I'll give you all other examples of black and white thinking. It's all or none, right? So all men are bad, or all women are bad, or I
would prefer to be in the forest with a bear.
I am a loser. I will be alone
that one was personal.
For the rest of my life. There is zero chance that I will find a relationship. I will never be successful. This is all or nothing or black and white thinking. So it's either 100% or zero. There's no shades of gray. And literally what we know from the process of psychotherapy is when we have people who think like this, right? So let's take the case of someone who has depression and is suicidal, and they...
I may be losing a lot of elo, chat, but I'm not depressed nor suicidal, okay? I will not kill myself.
Walk into my office and they say, there is no reason for me to continue living. There is a 0% chance that I will find joy in life. This is the nature. We call this like illness, right? We call this mental illness. When people are so stuck in their black and white thinking, we literally call it mental illness. And the goal of things like psychotherapy interventions, things like cognitive behavioral therapy and mentalization-based therapy for BPD and things like that, is to actually reduce this kind of thinking. We want to encourage people to see shades of gray, right? So when I'm working with someone who's depressed, they think in that moment that there is a zero reason to be alive.
I just need to see more shades of gray. How many shades, though, Dr. K? 1? 5? 6? 7, maybe? 50? I don't know. I feel like there's no shades of gray when your opponent is just fucking playing Danger Pack, Kakapo, and your fucking ballsack. Like, what?
But as I work with them, they begin to increase the...
Kelby sees in shades of gay.
Flexibility of their mind. They start to cognitively adapt a little bit. They're able to see shades of gray. Okay, so even though my life isn't great, there are some things that are going for me. And I want you to think about which one of these two people do you think is more likely to be successful? There is no reason for me to live anymore. Or, despite the fact that there are many disadvantages, I still have some things going for me. So what we...
Okay. So when I join the queue, when I get into ranked, I need to stop thinking, dude, I can't win today. I'm just so bad at the game. I'm sucking. I need to be like, dude, it's been a rough day, but boy, can I play a high roll. Hey, it's been a rough day, but man, I sure can stat the fuck out of a camel. You know what I'm saying?
Want you to do is literally reduce the way that your mind works. Don't think in terms of black and white. Practically, the way that works is that you can't really control your thinking, but you can, at the beginning, notice it. So notice any time that you have a black or white thought, an all or nothing thought. I'll be alone for the rest of my life. I will never be successful. And your mind may feed you all kinds of evidence why this is true. But I hate to break it to y'all, but no human being on the planet can predict the future.
No human being can predict that I'm about to hit double monkey turn 7. You know what I'm saying? No human can predict that I'm about to hit Snake Tiger 2 in a single fucking turn. Alright? They don't know that. They don't know I'm built like that. It's coming. It ain't black and white. It ain't just a loss.
Mind likes to
I'm seeing shades of gray right now.
That we can predict the future, but I have never seen a human being who can actually see into the future. So these thoughts are objectively wrong. If we really look at the world, what we know from tons of scientific research is that most things are something called multifactorial, which means that the reason that you failed is not because of one issue. It is.
Dude, you're so right. The reason I'm losing isn't because they high rolled. It's because I rolled a tear up. I put too many stats into my rabbit. I bought a crab when I wasn't supposed to. I should have bought that mushroom.
It's because of a consequence of lots of different things put together. So what we want you to do is literally pay attention to all of your all or nothing thoughts, right? And the more that you pay attention to those thoughts, then what we want you to do is try to see the other side of it. So we want you to take a step back and notice, this is black or white thinking. How can I add some gray to the equation? Even though I am feeling...
Okay, so, all right. We're going to get into the ranked very soon after this video. And the next time I feel like this is just a fucking loss, I can't win this, is impossible to win, I need to take a step back and be like, hey, Kelby, where's the gray in this? And then maybe I will see a difference. I'll see an opening. Maybe there's a chance. Maybe I can just lock the fuck in and I can play better. I don't know.
I will be alone for the rest of my life. What are
Whoa. I'm talking about Super Autopets here. I'm not going to be alone, am I?
Some things that may actually make it possible for me to be not alone for the rest of my life. Try to add that shade of gray. And what you'll find is that this is very difficult for your mind to do. And that's exactly the problem, is that as people become less cognitively flexible, they get locked into a particular way of viewing the world, and then they cannot adapt, right? That thought becomes fixed. It becomes a reality. And then if you think you're going to be alone for the rest of your life, anytime you go on a date, that will influence the enjoyment of the date and the enjoyment of the partner. So it kind of becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Oh, I like that. Oh, Dr. K, I like that. Yeah, I like that. Dude, okay, so if I'm having a game and I'm like, oh shit, it's all going wrong, I can never win this game. But then I'm like, no, look for something gray. And I look into it and I'm like, oh, there is an opening here. If I can spike this level up, hit a snake, then like I can actually make a comeback. And just by thinking that, my outlook is so much better. My enjoyment levels are so much better. My happiness is so much better. And my win chance is so much better. I like that, Dr. K.
And we can fix this by increasing that cognitive flexibility. The second thing we're going to talk about is to not counter what you hear, even if you disagree with it. So y'all will notice that this is happening so commonly on the internet, where if someone shares a view, your mind automatically jumps to why that view is wrong. Right? So if we look at the internet today, what we have is we have liberals and conservatives, we have Dota players and League of Legends.
Okay, don't bring Dota and League into this right now. Do not, okay? Do not.
Players, we have, men versus women. We have a lot of people who automatically counter whatever other people tell them. So if a woman says, yeah, I'm a woman and it's scary for me I would rather be with a bear than with a man.
That's what I said. Amen, sister.
On a trail, right? And then automatically what happens is a bunch of dudes are like, oh my God, that's so bad. That's so bad.
Maybe you can play against women. No, that would be unfair. That would just be unfair. That'd be really unfair. They clearly have a testosterone advantage, and it would just be like negative elo for me again. Honestly, I'd just be so far behind. There's
we
just
don't
no
even stop
no
to
point,
try
no chance.
to consider someone else's perspective. And so as people will sort of give us information, we are not adaptable, right? We immediately reject it. And the more that you immediately reject things, instead of being flexible, the less adaptable you will become. It's kind of my way or the highway. So we even see this in gaming. So this is really important.
This is what we're here for, chat.
Important to understand. So some people are like hard stuck at bronze. They can play a game for 10,000 hours and they
Stop calling me out, Dr. K.
never improve.
Uh-huh.
And these people will even go on forums and they'll start asking for help. They'll say, hey, this hero...
This is me right now, chat. I'm asking for help. Help me. What do I do? Please, fix it for me. You're not going to tell me. Maybe Dr. K will fucking tell me. Tell me, Dr. K.
I'm having trouble, like...
Dude, that's what... Pack 6 is overpowered. What the fuck do I do?
Advancing, like, I can't climb ranks. You know, the matchmaking is rigged against me.
The matchmaking is rigged, bro. You fucking either queue 1,800 Seed 1 players who are the best in the fucking world, or you queue 1,500 shitters who high roll Elephant Blowfish.
They'll think all these kinds of things, and people will counter them, right? I don't know if you guys have ever seen this, but sometimes people will say, hey, I want help with something, and then someone will offer help, and they'll say, no, that doesn't work, right? That doesn't work, that doesn't work, that doesn't work. This is cognitive inflexibility. And it turns out that some people can play 10,000 hours of a video game, and they actually get better over time, and some people can play 10,000 hours of a video game, and they will never get better. And this is true of life. Some people will be 30 years old and will be incredibly successful. They will adapt, they will change, they will improve. And some people will be 30 years old and they will be behind. What is the main reason for this? It is a lack of cognitive flexibility. Here is a study looking at rank in League of Legends. Cognitive flexibility and decision-making predicts expertise in the MOBA esport League of Legends. Results showed that cognitive flexibility was positively correlated with rank percentile at a p-value of 0.001. Like, this is insane, okay? I want y'all to realize what this study is showing us. This study is showing us that if you are hard stuck at bronze or in life, what this means...
Bro, I am hard stuck in bronze in many fucking ways, Dr. K. Are you telling me that I'm just not flexible? Do I need to be stretching?
...is that if you become cognitively flexible, then you will actually improve in both of these dimensions. So we talked a little bit about clinical improvements, right? So we also see that cognitive flexibility predicts PTSD symptoms. So I'll show y'all this sentence right here. Individuals with better cognitive flexibility at 1 month post-trauma showed significantly less severe PTSD symptoms after 13 months. And then here's another study that shows, this is looking at psychological flexibility as predictors of individual outcomes in hospital healthcare workers. So this is not just in gaming or mental illness. This is also in like studies of just people who are working in hospitals. And what we find is that employees who show psychological flexibility are more likely to show greater openness to the acceptance of setbacks in the working environment and to carry on their valued living and working path. And this seems to correlate with individual well-being. So now
So that's crazy. So if I look for the gray in every aspect of my life, I will probably improve. Not just at Super Auto Pets. Not just at Dota. Okay, so how about streaming? You saying I need to look for the gray in streaming? Let's be... I'm never fucking gonna make this a full-time job. I'm not gonna make a full-time salary doing this. Or am I? Where's the gray? I can't find the gray in that.
Looked at 3 studies, and I want y'all to really pay attention to this. So like in the case of trauma, this is something that is a traumatic setback. So there are 2 individuals, one of whom is not cognitively flexible and one of whom is cognitively flexible or adaptive.
Okay.
They both have bad stuff happen to them because in life, we cannot control that sometimes bad shit happens. But there is a huge difference.
Bad shit happens, bro. You queue in a ranked game, all of a sudden, you're playing a fucking 1 seed. All of a sudden, they're playing Pack 6. All of a sudden, they're bongling your nuts with a Geechee.
Difference in how you respond to that bad event. And if we look at healthcare workers, we know that bad stuff will happen. There will 100% be setbacks. But there are 2 types of people. For one person, a single traumatic event results in something called PTSD, which means one event lingers in their brain and continues to screw up their life. In another situation, we have someone who...
My trauma is literally queuing to Ash. I think that is what... Legit, my PTSD of the day, the trauma of the day is queuing into Ash. Like, second game of the day. I think I was 0-2. And pretty much after that, it's been all downhill.
Has a setback at work.
And then Nob was like just rubbing salt in the wounds, right?
Able to carry on their...
And then they started fucking passing me back and forth between each other. They gave me straight back to Ash again. On a different pack. He said, I'm using a different hole this time. And...
valued living and working path, right? So some people, when they face a setback, give up. They are not perseverant. They can't adapt to their circumstances. This is a lack of adaptability, and it results in you being hard stuck at bronze. It results in more mental illness, right, which then screws over your future prospects. And it even results in things like not following through at work, giving up on a...
I followed through before. My girlfriend can't help but always bring it up. She tells everyone. If she hasn't spoke to a friend in a while, she has to bring up the time that I followed through. And you know what's crazy? She didn't even know what following through was until I told her. She was sitting here and I was like, oh, I gotta fart. So I got up and I walked to the doorway and I just farted at the doorway. To be polite, we were eating food. I didn't want to fart in front of her. Like, and she had to smell it while we were eating dinner. I went outside. As I got outside the room to fart, I followed through. I looked her dead in the eyes and I went, Egg, I followed through. She went, what? I said, I followed through. Oh, fuck. Then I run off, take my clothes off, go have a shower, clean up. And she's like, what happened? You're right, why are you showering? I was like, Egg, I shit myself. I followed through, Egg. What do you mean? She's like, oh, I didn't know what followed through meant. I thought you hurt yourself or something.
Career path that you originally engaged in because you loved it in some way. And on the flip side, we have the people who are highly adaptable. And those people, and this is crazy, right? Like, you look at some of these people, and I used to be both of these, right? There was a version of me that no fucking relationships, no money, failing out of college, playing a ton of video games, and I still sucked at video games.
Stop describing me, Dr. K.
And today, I have a career, gratefully, that I enjoy a lot. It's fun to be able to do this. I'm arguably in a happily married relationship, and
Why do you say arguably? Dr. K, you okay? Did she hit you? Are you okay?
I've got 2 kids. I have relationships. I'm even climbing rank in Dota right now. Like, my MMR has gone up like 1,000 points. And this
plus 1k MMR is actually kind of crazy. But the thing is, were you like 2k and now you're 1k? I mean, were you 1k and now you're 2k? Or you like 3k and now you're 4k? I feel like the 1k to the 2k is nothing really in Dota. But like that 3k to the 4k, that's a big jump.
Some way to humble brag and say like, oh, like what I'm saying is that I used to be both of these people. Like, literally. Like, these are both me. The big...
I like the way he's grabbing those, you know what I'm saying?
Difference is, in one scenario, I was not adaptable, right? I kept on trying the same things over and over and over again. And once I started adapting to my circumstances, my IQ was always the same. It's not IQ. It's about your ability.
So you're saying I'm fucked. I'm always fucking stupid.
To adapt to your circumstances. So how can we increase this adaptability? It is to not counter what we hear. So people will tell you, hey, this kind of thing is true. And then immediately in your mind, you reject it. Immediately.
I kept playing Rabbit. I'm not playing Rabbit all the time. Okay, hold. I'm gonna look into the gray. I did play a lot of Rabbit. Maybe I need to look into my situations and think, is Rabbit worth it?
In your mind, you reject it. That is not adaptation. There's no flexibility. It is rigidity of the mind. So when someone tells you something that is contrary to your experience, the nature of adaptability is to try to understand it, right? Try to actually steel man their argument instead of straw man their argument. Recognize that in your life, this is true for you in this particular state. But if you can understand how they can be right, if you can adapt your mind to that, you will literally improve. The third thing that we're going to talk about is somewhat related to that, and that's the most devastating statement that I hear, which is that this does not work for me. So a lot of people out there will offer solutions to your problems, and then you will say,
do I say that? This doesn't work for me. Do I ever say that? Ooh. Do I ever? I don't think I do say that. I do say I don't think that works. I don't think I say this doesn't work for me.
this doesn't work for me. Oh, people say meditate first thing in the morning, but I'm not a morning person. That is a rigid statement. It is a black and white statement. Therefore, your solution does not work for me. Then you are stuck looking for the perfect solution. And this is the problem in life, is no one out there will make a solution just for you, right? They will.
No one will make a solution just for me. Then why the fuck am I watching this video?
General solutions.
Dr. K, I thought you were going to help me with my SAP game right now. I thought you were going to improve my elo.
So anytime you say this thought pops into your mind where this doesn't work for me, socialization doesn't work for me, dating doesn't work for me, the gym doesn't work for me, eating healthy doesn't work for me, working first thing when I wake up in the morning doesn't work for me. You are abandoning all of those solutions and you are looking for the perfect solution. And in doing so, you are failing to adapt. So instead, what you should do, and I've literally seen this in my office. So I'll have some people who are highly adaptable and very successful. And I'll say, okay, this is the kind of meditation that you should do, or this is how you should try to improve your relationship. And what they do is what doesn't work for them becomes an obstacle to solve instead.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Hold up. Instead of... Oh my God. Instead of just accepting defeat, I can look at defeat as an obstacle to overcome. Oh no, this is a guaranteed loss. Or is it?
Instead of a reason to give up. So if I tell them meditate first thing in the morning, half of the people I work with will say, I'm not a morning person, so it doesn't work for me. The next
Why'd you
person,
flip me off?
the opposite camp, says, okay, even though I have trouble waking up in the morning, the first thing that I need to do is wake up in the morning so that I can meditate first thing in the morning.
Okay.
An obstacle doesn't become a reason to quit. It becomes a problem to be solved.
Okay.
So anytime
I love that.
in your mind you hear
Yes.
this thought, oh, this doesn't work for me.
Dude, and we can even like shorten this. Oh no, they've got a big front unit. That's really difficult for me. It's now my obstacle. How do I beat that big front unit? You know? Like, the big front unit doesn't work for me, but how can I beat that big front unit? You know what I'm saying? How do I make it work for me?
Instead, ask yourself, how can I make this work for me? How can I adapt so that this solution can actually be successful? And then suddenly think about what that will do to your life, because there are 1,000 different solutions out there. The problem is they don't work for you. But the moment that you start adapting, all of these 1,000 solutions that don't work for you can suddenly start working for you. Then you can rely on the wisdom and experience of other people. And this is literally what I see in my practice. This is the change that I made in my own.
Yo, motherfuckers, people that play SAP need to watch this video. Low key, high key, not even low key, high key. People need to watch this video.
Life, I start to make things work for me. This is the nature of adaptation. Now, as y'all are listening to this, I'm going to bet you money, I don't know how much money, that
money, you say? You got money? I'll take money. Give me your money.
Someone listening to this, even potentially the majority of y'all, will say, but Dr. K, what about this edge case? Are you saying that I should adapt to my abusive relationship and learn how to be happy even when the circumstances are bad? But Dr. K, I'm on the autism spectrum.
But Dr. K, like, how? How do I beat a 1 seed playing fucking Pack 6, Dr. K? How? What do I do?
I struggle with social anxiety, and this may not work for me. And look at what you are doing. Here I am, arguably someone who's somewhat knowledgeable in helping other human beings attain success. I've done neuroscience research, I'm a psychiatrist, I'm a gamer, and I've even shared with y'all peer-reviewed scientific research about how cognitive flexibility improves rank in League of Legends. And there's going to be a group of y'all that are listening to this that will reject my approach about adaptability. You will reject this in your mind and you will say, this doesn't work for me for these reasons. Oh, you're saying this, but that doesn't, I've tried it and it didn't work. I've tried to adapt. I'm not an adaptable person, right? Think about this and notice how reflexive it is in your mind. The last thing to consider is make it work for you. So imagine that if you reject what I'm saying, fair enough, there may be...
Okay, I'm not rejecting what you're saying. I agree with you, Dr. K. I agree. But it's like such an insurmountable task right now. You know what I'm saying? You're telling me to climb Mount Everest, but they've tied my arms behind my back. And they've taken all my rations. But you're saying I've got to make it work. So I'm going to fucking slug my way to that top, alright? And even if people keep kicking me back down, I got to make it work.
Reasons
I got to be
I'm
adaptable.
wrong, but can you make it work for you? Because if you can make it work for you, if you can become more adaptable, then what would your life be like? What if you could adapt to your circumstances and always do well, right? It's not necessarily always. There's black and white thinking. And the last example I'll give you is one from relationships, where everyone out there is looking for the perfect partner. But I don't know that there is the perfect partner. Dating apps will tell you, keep swiping until you find the perfect person. They're out there. But in my overwhelming experience as a psychiatrist who's worked with a ton of people going through divorce, done a touch of marriage counseling, not my forte, what I found is that the most successful way to create a successful relationship is to adapt to the other person. Don't try to find someone who's a perfect fit for you. You need to learn how to adapt to them, and they need to learn how to adapt to you. That's not what's happening, and that's why we have a loneliness epidemic, we have a dating crisis, all of these different things. So lean into your adaptability. Stop thinking in terms of black and white.
Okay.
Really listen when people say something that you disagree with. Try your hardest to understand them. And if someone...
But my chat's fucking stupid, Dr. K. I don't want to listen to them. I don't want to listen to them. I don't. I don't want to listen to these people. I don't, bro. These are the people that call themselves mommy and call me good boy. Like...
Someone says, hey, this will work, and you say, it doesn't work for me, you need to change.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. K. I'll do my best. Sorry, my girlfriend just came to show me her pants after Sugar sat on her. Sugar's basically molted half of her coat on her fucking legs, bless her. Alright. I think that was useful, chat. I think that was useful. Even if it's not useful in Super Auto Pets, I think it's useful in life. I thoroughly enjoyed watching that, I'm not gonna lie. So what do we learn? Cognitive flexibility is extremely important if we want to gain elo, alright? It worked in League, it can work in little old Super Auto Pets. So we're currently going 2-9. We've lost 9 out of 11 games. If I want to improve, I don't think it's going to be a simple solution right now. It's going to be a long thing coming. But if I want to improve now, I need to look at my turn and think less in black and white. And look at the gray a little bit more, alright? And if I think, oh, this isn't going to work, try and find a way to make it work. And I think Mystical said something important. Don't slug your way up Mount Everest. If you got to adapt, just find a better solution. It's not just try harder.